Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lukenessmonster. Today, we're going to be reviewing the ISB Tactical Agent. This figure is from Andor, as you can tell by the orange color scheme, and it is actually number 17 in the Andor line. Flipping around to the side, as you can see, we do have this really cool ISB artwork, looking great. And flipping around to the back, we do have that exact same thing. You can pause and read the bio if you would like, but other than that, there's not a whole lot else going on with the box, so let's go ahead, crack this guy open, and take a close look at everything he has to offer. Alrighty, so we do have the ISB agent out of the box, and I gotta say, this guy is just really cool. I love the idea of this, like, armored ISB agent. We haven't really seen anything like this until Andor, and it's cool to get. I almost see this as, like, the Star Wars version of like SEAL Team 6. It's really cool and I love the idea of it. The all white armor is super stunning on this guy, plus all the black accents to contrast it. He just turned out great, and it's one of the coolest like trooper designs we've ever gotten from Star Wars, so I saw this one hit stores and I had to pick it up. Let's go ahead, get him off the spinny stand and take a close look at everything this figure has to offer. So first up, taking a look at the sculpt for this guy, he is on a BlackSeries body that we've already seen before, and that is essentially the like Miggs Mayfeld like pilot body here. You can see the chest plates for both of these guys are pretty much exactly the same. The interesting thing is though, brand new shoulder pads, which is new because we've seen these arms and this body several times in the line before and they've just reused these same shoulder pads. So interested to see they gave them new ones here. And alongside that, as you can see, the gauntlets for these guys as well as the hands are new. So I am pretty sure that this guy just got completely brand new arms, which is pretty great. Of course, looking at this guy, the like waist torso pieces that go all the way around and kind of like drape down, the kind of like skirt piece is new on this guy as well. Completely brand new sculpt for this figure. Now this guy does have pinned legs and we will talk about that more with the articulation, but I thought the shins were going to be just straight reuse, and the shins on this guy, because as you can tell the armor is different, he has completely brand new lower legs and feet. And honestly, looking at the pants too, you can see the pants are their own sculpt as well. So this guy got completely brand new arms, legs, a torso belt piece, and of course that brand new head mold. So tons of new pieces on this guy, which honestly kind of sucked because it's not necessarily a great figure when it comes to articulation, and of course we will talk about that here in a second. The next thing I want to talk about is this guy's face and hat. Zooming in here, as you can see, this guy's got a pretty cool face sculpt. I'm not sure if it's based off of a certain person or trooper from the show or not, but it is a pretty generic white guy in an Imperial outfit, so love how this guy looks. But I also really like the fact that this guy's hat is removable. So that does add a level of customability to this guy. So if you want to buy more than one, you could have one with the hat, one without the hat. And he does have a pretty standard haircut underneath. But because of this customability, it means you can also swap out with different BlackSeries parts and accessories. For example, General Veers comes with a pretty much exactly identical hat, but in gray. So if you wanted to, you can pop that one on and he can have a gray hat. This one's definitely more of a snug fit on him, but if you wanted him to have a gray hat instead, here you go. But also, speaking of customability, there is the Imperial Ferrex officer, and he does come with his own helmet, and it is also a tight fit, but you can fit that helmet on, and of course the goggles on too, and you get a whole nother look for your Imperial ISB agent, which is really cool, and it adds so much customability to the figure if you do want to army build them. But I also like that because of the customability you can use with other figures too. With this black hat that comes with this figure, if you want, you can throw it onto your Dedra Meero figure. Dedra Meero is one of those figures that wears a black hat a lot in the show, and we never actually got one for the figure. So if you want her to have her black hat, here you go, and I think that's really cool. Now we just need a trench coat to put her in too. Jumping into articulation, he does have a ball joint at the head. No ball joint at the neck though, because this is a pretty dated sculpt, so only one ball joint there. You are going to get him up into a T-pose, and of course, they can go all the way around. Now, I was trying to find some butterfly joints in this guy, and I don't think he has them. They might be way in there, and if there are, like they don't really do much, but I don't think this guy has butterfly joints. The elbows here can get right to about 90 degrees. And then he does have a horizontal hinge on one wrist and a vertical hinge on the other. He does have a ball joint at the torso. He has ball joints at both the legs so he can get up into a massive splits. He can kick out about that far, so not a ton. He does have a thigh cut, and then he does have the double jointed knees, so the knees are going to get into like tons of range of motion here, kicking the butt even, which is completely unnecessary. He also does have boot swivels, and then of course the standard pivots and rockers. Definitely like comparing this figure to a figure like the Andor and his officer disguise. That really shows kind of how poor this figure is, especially when it comes to articulation. This Andor does use the exact same base chest piece and shoulder pieces that we've already looked at, but the difference is he has a lot of new pieces too. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the butterfly joints, but he does have really deep cutted elbows, so even though this is a reuse of an old mold, the elbows still get to about 90 degrees, actually past 90 degrees, which is great. And then the biggest thing is he has these brand new legs, completely pinless look. They look so much better, and these ones are the pinless look, and so you are going to get all of the nice upgraded modern articulation out of these legs. And like I said, all this is on that same base body. But like I said, you're probably saying, Luke, they just reused parts to save money, but we already went over this. The arms are completely brand new and the legs are completely brand new, and we've already seen that Hasbro can use legs like this on a figure. So if they're gonna make brand new legs, why didn't they just put modern articulation into them? It genuinely makes no sense, and it's really disappointing because this figure could have been so much better, and it just wasn't. But like I said, it's pretty clear that Hasbro could have upgraded this guy a whole lot more, but they made brand new sculpts reusing old technology, and it just really hurts this figure in the long run. First up for comparisons, we do have two figures here that are the most like it and reuse most of the same parts. That of course being the two figures we've already looked at in this video, with the Andor officer disguise on this side and Migs Mayfeld on this side. Both are looking great, and it just really shows how cool some of these different Imperial officers can be, while practically having the same design but completely different color schemes and little extra bits and pieces here, because all three of these figures are looking really cool. Next up, of course, this guy is an ISB agent, so we have to have a member of the ISB with Dedra Meero on the left. They're looking great together. The whites are two different colors. Dedra's is more of this deeper yellowish white, while the armor here is this more glossy, kind of stark white. But they both look great together, and it's nice to get some more ISB representation in the line. And then, of course, we have that other Andor soldier on the right, being the Imperial officer from Ferrix. And yeah, they're all looking great together. Definitely a great example of how good the Andor line can be. Then last up for comparisons, we've got some more Imperials with the Imperial Death Trooper on the left. It's definitely one of those examples of, again, just kind of like an Imperial SEAL Team 6. And so it's nice to see a comparison between something like the Death Trooper and the ISB agent in the middle. And then just for grins and giggles, we have another Andor officer on the right. This is the Imperial officer Dark Times. And it's one of my favorite designs for an Imperial officer. So it is looking really cool here next to this ISB agent in the middle. So yeah, overall, I like this guy. I really like the idea of him. Like I said, this SEAL Team 6 Imperial officer. He looks great. The armor design is cool. The biggest problem is it just suffers from a lack of reuse. And again, I say reuse really because it's not reuse. It's just old technology that they made new molds for. And they very clearly could have made brand new molds using modern technology, and they didn't, and that's just where this figure really suffers, because it had the ability to be one of the best figures of the year. But instead, it's riddled with poor technology, poor articulation, and outdated action figure technology. But overall, I still like it, and if you guys see this one in store and you have a chance to pick it up, I highly suggest you do so, because regardless of the articulation, it's still going to look great on the shelf with the rest of your Imperial figures. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below, does this older technology for articulation bother you, or are you still going to pick it up? Let me know down in the comments below. That is going to do it for this video though, so if you did enjoy, the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.